The objective of the DVD is to familiarize you with the Protective Combat Uniform, and I'm just going to call it PCU from now on because I can't say Protective Combat Uniform for the entire DVD. PCU is a multi-level system that's designed to protect you from cold and wet weather and improve your warfighting capability from 45 degrees all the way down to -50. The materials that we've used, they're lighter, they're more compressible than what is currently issued, which means your pack's going to be smaller and you'll carry less of a load. And the system didn't come around by accident. I'm going to stress this now and later in the DVD. I will dress differently than Carolyn will dress or than Vince will dress for the exact same environmental conditions and the exact same level of energy output. So what we've had to do is come up with a system that the heavy sweating meat eaters can use and the shivering 3% body fat triathlete can use. And this means that how you dress is largely individual. You have to test, you have to experiment, you have to know before you go into the field. So don't leave it until the last minute. Practice when you have the conditions that you can practice in, so that basically your clothing choices are automatic once you get out in the real world. It's really important that the clothing system be adaptable to a broad range of weather conditions and have a lot of flexibility in terms of how you can use it to address different levels of effort as well. So whether you're moving slowly at a patrol pace or you're moving really, really fast, you need to be able to configure the clothing system to preserve heat or to dump heat to protect you from the elements. And it would be really easy, of course, to choose the clothing system for a particular mission if the weather forecast was correct and the mission went exactly as planned, but the weather forecast is never right and the mission often doesn't go as planned. You might start missions, riding in a helicopter with the door open. Or you might be doing some kind of boat transit and be out there for an hour or several hours, getting wet, getting pounded. When you get there, you're basically cooling down, shivering, and then suddenly, hey, time to get off the chopper and run toward the objective and be 100%. That's a really difficult thing to ask your clothing system to do, much less yourself. To survive and thrive in the conditions one finds in the mountain environment, skilled outdoorsmen use synthetic fibers for insulation and protect them with a shell that's waterproof and breathable in an effort to stay dry. But in our experience, we found that since it's impossible to actually stay dry, we've kind of given up on staying dry altogether. This refers back to an experience when Scottish climbers who were climbing in arguably the worst conditions in the world, and they realized that no barrier could protect them, that could keep their insulation dry, so they started using a shell that wasn't waterproof, but it was only water resistant and it was windproof, combined with a synthetic layer that was configured in such a way that whatever sweat they built up on the inside traveled at high velocity, essentially, to that breathable shell and dispersed it to the outside world. This soft shell type system that was developed in Scotland is the foundation of what we're doing today. What we've done with PCU is to develop a system that works across the broadest range of conditions that one finds in special operations, that addresses any possible conditions from 45 degrees all the way down to -50. And it's durable, it's functional, and in my opinion, this is the best the best cold weather clothing system ever developed, military or otherwise.
So Mark, how did the PCU project get started?
It was fall of 2001, and guy was in Afghanistan. It was a guy who actually later went on to win the Silver Star, and he called the project manager for the soft survival and said, hey, we're freezing our asses off over here and you got to do something about it. And it was within just a couple of months that we had user juries representing all of special operations with us, and we ran through all of the different fabrics, made some choices, and it was probably 7 or 8 months after that the initial fielding began. All of the feedback was integrated into what we're wearing right now, which is PCU Block 1. One of the things that you can configure on your own with the level 5 pants is something that makes the pants work as a gaiter. So if I was walking around deep snow right now, I'd end up getting a lot of snow in the top of my boot. So inside the leg cuff, or the ankle cuff on the level 5, there are tabs on each side, and these are delivered with some elastic cords that you can put in here so you can tie the pants down over the boot to act as a gaiter. You can use piece of 550 cord. Every level 5 is delivered with pieces of cord so that you can do that. It can be something that's used on exposure suits as well, and also for the level 7. So if you don't have gaiters and you need them, a piece of cord that weighs a few grams can substitute, especially with this shell.